we got a list here, Z. You got it in front of you. What are some other guys you want to highlight from Minnesota college hockey scene who've been impressing you, or to those who are watching us live on YouTube right now, who to keep your eye on for the remainder of the tournament?
I mean, just looking at like the Minnesota guy. I mean, like Sam Rinzel hasn't really played a whole lot. I think he's got like 10, 12 minutes. Zeev Buium, I love. I think he's one guy we had at Smart Scout. We had our midterm rankings for the 24 drafts, and he made our top 10. He is so good, like playing over at Denver. Obviously, I know it's not Minnesota, but he is such a fucking good player. I think he played like 15, 16 minutes against Norway, just looks steady. But he can fucking bring it. He's such a goddamn good player. He's one of my favorites in college hockey. And then, like you said, Oliver Moore barely is gonna. He hasn't really played a whole lot. I think he played like 5 minutes against Norway. But that was not to be. That was expected. So I'm not overly surprised there. Isaac Howard, we don't consider Minnesota anymore because I think he's at Michigan State now. And I mean, Snuggerud looked really good. Like that shot is a joke.
Dude,
and I mean, again, not a Minnesota guy, but Gavin Brindley's a stud. 2 goals against Norway. Like, he's such a fucking good hockey player.
So it was him and Snuggerud that led the charge in. I don't want to. It's weird. It wasn't a comeback, but it felt like it because like no one expected Norway to look that good. I mean, your boy looked good. Your boy, who you claim to be Swedish. I mean, he looked fine, even though he didn't score. Nygaard. But it was wild for me how they were skating. Honestly, man, as quick or quicker than the Americans. And I'm going to attribute some of it to the Americans just being like, oh shit, did not expect these guys to be that good. And then they started to get their game going in the second and third. But like Norway was laying them out. They were playing more of a physical game too. So it took a little bit for the Americans to wake up. But as soon as they started scoring, like you said there, they were able to take over the game. But no, both those guys impressed me the most for the Americans thus far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, USA tends to do this too in like the first game of the tournament. So I wasn't like overly surprised. Norway's going to have the juice in game 1. And again, they just played really fucking well. Even when they started giving up the goals, I still thought they played well the whole game. Like, they worked their fucking bags off. But my boy, Michael Bronseg Nygård, I only say he's Swedish because he plays in Sweden. Like, that's I cover the Swedish region. So he's my draft son. He has been fucking phenomenal in both of the games for Norway. Obviously, they're not going to win any of these games, so it's always going to be tough for him to get on the score sheet. But like, he has such a fucking high ceiling. Like,
his shot
skill, his shot is insane.
Dude, insane.
He's good at everything. Like, and he can play anywhere in your lineup, and he will play the same exact way. He's going to be effective wherever but like a strong tournament, like he's already in pretty much everybody's 10 to 15 range. Like, if he continues to just have a strong tournament, even if they don't win any games, he doesn't necessarily like light up the score sheet. Like, a strong tournament could see him start creeping into a whole lot of top 10s come June. So just one of my favorite, well, probably top 3 favorite player in this draft. And they've got a couple draft eligibles too. They're all just playing. They play hard, and like they just don't have that game breaker. And they just obviously don't match up against the other big dogs. But again, Bronseg Nygård's been really good these first couple of games for Norway, even though he hasn't found the score sheet.
He had 2 awesome opportunities today, dude. Like, and he had like he just off the top of my head, he probably had some in the first game too. But this game in particular, there was one cross ice pass when they were set, and it got through traffic, but like the goaltender tracked it, and he was in perfect position. And then there was one like close range shot where he had like a nifty move, got like totally confused the defender and tried to shoot it in close, but again, the goalie was tracking it the whole time. So like you said it, he's had opportunities, and I hope he gets rewarded with at least a couple in the tournament. That shows like if people and the scouts and everything dig into the stats, go, okay, well, like look at all his chances, because of the competition and being the team that it is, without that tier up in skill, like they should see the value in him. And I was saying yesterday on the post game or day 1 wrap up, and I was, swooning because it had just happened. But I was saying that, man, if this team had like 2, 3, 4 guys who are just even one step above, who are even on the Slovakia, Czechia, tier of like, the really good players on those teams, they could have given the States even more a run for their money and like dragged this into like the final minutes. So really, really excited to see teams like Norway, like Switzerland, like Germany have good showings, like we said in the opening segment, because that's what makes this tournament so special. And on the flip side of it, when you see a team go like 3 goals down, 4 goals down, you almost know that like, oh fuck, you fucked up and it's hard to come back because the shit's just going to continue to roll down the hill. And we saw that today with Latvia and Canada.
Yeah, fucking Latvia. But it's crazy. Like, and with I just call him MSB Brents or MSB NBS.
It's a long name.
yeah. But like the thing with him too, it's great. Like in the Allsvenskan this year, the Swedish version of like Division 2, I guess. But like his numbers don't look phenomenal. But he legitimately, I have never watched a draft eligible with worse puck luck. It's insane. That's apparently just continuing in this fucking.
Yeah, dude, that's hilarious. You mentioned that because that's exactly what I would say. Like. Even in defeat today, he could have had 2 goals. He could have had 2 goals.